I want to work with Florence Pugh. I think she's amazing. She's so good in that movie and all the movies that she's done. I think she's fantastic. So I think a really cool Spider-Man Black Widow movie would be a fun little twist.
I mean, it would have to be Spider-Man. I think they'd be so silly together. It would be so fun as well. And I've been desperate to meet Tom for such a long time. Also, I really think Yelena would be able to really take the piss out of him in a really good and healthy way. So that would be wonderful.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about Spider-Man Brand New Day, and we do have very big developments in regards to this project here. We have Tramell Tillman with Florence Pugh now included into this movie. Keep in mind that this project is going to be taking on a street level, grounded type of approach. Of course, characters like Yelena is going to be included in this film, but the main question that we do have here is, what character is Tramell Tillman going to be playing? Is he going to be a villain or a hero, or maybe even an ally to Spider-Man? We're also going to be talking about later in the video the big plan that Dr. Doom does have in Doomsday and who he's going to be going after with the intention of trying to kill them. There's going to be so many things that we have to talk about for today, but let's first talk about the confirmed cast that we have as of August 20th, 2025. Of course, Tom Holland will be returning as Spider-Man, aka Peter Parker. We have Zendaya returning, Jacob Batalon as Ned, Sadie Sink, who has also been spotted filming with Tom Holland. We have John Bernthal returning as the Punisher, Mark Ruffalo returning as the Hulk, Michael Mando returns as the Scorpion, Florence Pugh, who will be returning as well as Yelena Belova, aka the White Widow or the Black Widow. Then of course we have Tramell Tillman, where we just don't know what role he's going to be taking on. Now there has been a lot of reports coming out stating that most likely, like, there is a 90% chance that Tillman is going to be taking on a villain role. He's not going to be the main villain, but a smaller villain within this film. If you guys are not familiar with Tramell Tillman's work, go look at the show Severance on Apple TV Plus. It's a phenomenal TV series, and for the actor alone, the guy really does know how to act. You can just see that his natural persona screams being a villain. So of course Marvel was going to try and hire him to maybe take on a role in Spider-Man. Now there has been some past considerations even before we saw this big announcement about him being recruited for Spider-Man Brand New Day. Like, for example, many wanted him to be Kang the Conqueror after we saw Jonathan Majors exit Marvel. However, those theories did die down over the past few months, and one of the main theories that we have for today is Tillman could be playing maybe Spencer Smythe, who is a tech genius who builds spider slayers. They are like these robotic type of enemies that are designed to hunt down Spider-Man. So maybe Tillman is playing Spencer. There's been some other speculations claiming that he could be playing Tombstone, one of the characters that Spider-Man is going to be facing off in that beginning montage of the movie. Or maybe, once again, going back to the Kang conversation, he could be a Kang variant, making a cameo. However, that's really going to contradict the reports about Brand New Day being a grounded story. However, don't be surprised if we see, like, at the end of this movie that the only reason why Tramell Tillman got hired was to create a post-credit scene where he is one of the Kang variants. And now we do have Florence Pugh as Yelena Belova. It's quite funny to see how all of this is playing out, because 3 years ago, or maybe even more than that, 4 years ago, Tom Holland did express that he would love to work with Florence Pugh, and the same goes the other way. Florence Pugh said before, I think it was like 2 years ago, back in 2023, that she would love to work with Tom Holland, or she said something like she would love for her character to embrace and interact with Spider-Man. And now, fast forwarding 2 years later, all of this is coming true. In terms of theories and what role she could be playing, she could appear in this movie simply to be a recruiter, right? Because now she has a team called the New Avengers, and maybe she's going to want to recruit Peter Parker and draw him into the team. Because remember, they are in the same city. They're all in New York, and maybe Yelena was looking at Spider-Man through the news, maybe through spying on him, and she's like, oh my god, like, we have to recruit whoever this person is. He'll be a great addition to our team. Or maybe she's simply there to act like a street level ally to help Spider-Man. Maybe she's the only one in this storyline where she knows that Peter Parker is Spider-Man, and maybe she can act like a therapist for whatever reason. Like, I don't know, like, if you guys have seen Thunderbolts, you guys will know exactly what I mean. Like, everybody was calling the New Avengers the mental health Avengers, and maybe Yelena's taking on that role where she's trying to help Peter get back to his feet and not feel so negative all the time. And there's also that potential clash of Yelena meeting the Punisher, which is quite interesting because, like, the Punisher character actually did join a version of the Thunderbolts in the comics. So like maybe it's not even about the new Avengers, aka the Thunderbolts, recruiting Spider-Man. Maybe it's about trying to recruit the Punisher. But yeah, he was part of the team that was assembled by Red Hulk, General Ross, back in 2013. That version of the Thunderbolts did include Deadpool, Elektra, Agent Venom, Ghost Rider, and other characters. It's very different to what we have in the MCU, but you understand the point. What if they go through this storyline? It'll be very interesting. And of course, you always have the possibility of maybe she's included in there to explain what happened to New York and the Void. Like, why was the whole city of New York going dark while Spider-Man was like swinging through there? Maybe we're going to see his perspective. Maybe Yelena could speak to Spider-Man as well and say like, hey, look, I know this other team called the Fantastic Four. If you do not like joining us, there's this other team, the Fantastic Four. We have met them already, but they're not from this universe. And that could eventually lead towards a future Foundation storyline. There's a lot of things that Marvel can do here. So now let's go more multiversal. Let's talk about more cosmic type of stories, because now we're going to talk about Doctor Doom. According to a big scooper, Daniel Rickman, he has stated that the story revolves around Doctor Doom hunting those responsible for triggering multiversal incursions. It has been said before that Doom's character is described not just as a villain, but also as a twisted savior, meaning that there is going to be some heroes in Doomsday that are going to look at Doctor Doom and say like, yes, he's a hero. I don't see him as a villain, which is going to be crazy from our perspective as viewers, because I really do wonder what heroes or what anti-heroes or whatever, vigilantes, whatever you want to call it, are going to be looking at Doctor Doom and say like, we have to pick his side. He knows all of the answers. Because let's remember the whole premise and core story of Doomsday. It's going to help us understand why Doctor Doom would try and go for the people who were responsible for the incursions. Incursions are catastrophic events where two universes do collide, resulting in the destruction of either one or both of them. The only way you can save a universe when they do collide is by destroying the opponent's Earth. This was first introduced in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, and the way that incursions are triggered are through either three different things: time travel, dream walking, and universe hopping, which are three things that we have seen in the past few MCU projects. For example, we have seen Captain America time travel in Endgame. We have seen Doctor Strange and Wanda dreamwalk, or America Chavez and Loki universe hopping. We have been seeing concepts like this since the end of Endgame. And in the comics, you know, like when you do such a thing and you cause this incursion, you do have a total of 8 hours to resolve this type of conflict. I don't think that's going to take 8 hours in the actual movie, because if it was 8 hours, all of these universes would have snapped a long time ago. So once again, the only way to stop an incursion is to destroy one of the colliding Earths. And that's basically it. And so from Doctor Doom's perspective, he's like, bro, what the heck is going on here? Like, why is this even going on? Who is even responsible for these incursions? Because the multiverse is collapsing. So to Doctor Doom, he's furious. And that is why Doom is going after the individuals who were responsible for triggering the incursions. So this does include characters like Doctor Strange, Scarlet Witch, Loki, and other characters. We'll talk about that in just a few seconds. But his motivation does stem from a desire to impose order on a collapsing multiverse by eliminating the root causes of the destabilizations. And who knows, he might be also seeking Loki's multiversal throne that we have seen in Loki season 2, also going after Franklin Richards' powers, which is something that he was going after at the end of Fantastic Four First Steps, and with the ultimate attempt to rebuild Battleworld, which is his version and his solution towards this big problem. When nobody else has answers, when other heroes don't have answers whatsoever, it's going to position Doom as both a savior but also a tyrant. So let's go into that list of characters that Doom is going to be going after. One of them is for sure going to be Doctor Strange. Like, this dude caused an incursion on Earth 838, and we saw that via dreamwalking in Multiverse of Madness. Then we have Scarlet Witch. She destroyed the Darkhold, tore through dimensions in search of her children. We saw that as well in Multiverse of Madness. Then we have Loki, who enabled the multiverse by killing He Who Remains, and he is now a guardian of time at the end of the multiverse. Once again, we have seen that in Loki season 2. We have Captain America at the end of Avengers Endgame. That does tie up Endgame to Doomsday. If you really think about it, Endgame might be a prequel to Doomsday. But yeah, we do have Captain America, who did time travel at the end, creating branch timelines, which means that Doom may kill Peggy Carter to lure him out of retirement. By the way, there was a picture that was recently posted a few hours ago showing a house, and that house very much looks like exactly where Endgame did end, which was Steve Rogers' home. So we'll see if they go back to that scene. Then we have Peter Parker, who botched a spell in No Way Home, fractured reality, inviting other villains from other universes into 616. We have Monica Rambeau, who went through the X-Men universe. American Chavez, who has the ability to open multiversal portals, and she literally stated that she went through like 74 different universes. We have Venom, where he universe jumped, and in No Way Home, he left a symbiote piece before he went back to his original universe. So it's crazy when you really think about it. You can really see how Kevin Feige and the Russo brothers are going to try and tie in everything together. It's one of the ways that you can really try to put everything into one big story. So for those of you guys who had questions about how you're going to build up Doctor Doom, well, here you have it. It's been there all along. along since the beginning and the end of Avengers Endgame back in 2019. So let me know in the comment sections down below, who else did I leave out in terms of like this list of characters that Doctor Doom is going to try and go for. Maybe I did miss a few characters, but let me know in the comment sections down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.